It doesn't feel real. A man who built his entire legacy on strength, resilience, and pure willpower, gone just like that. Chuck Norris wasn't just an action star. He was something bigger. A symbol. A presence. The kind of man people believed could never be taken down. But today, we're facing a reality no one was ready for. At 86 years old, after decades of discipline and dominance, Chuck Norris has passed away. And what makes this even harder to process is how sudden it all was. Because just days ago, he was still fighting, still training, still being Chuck Norris. The shocking news almost equals 500 words. The news didn't slowly break, it hit like a wave. Sudden, heavy, unbelievable. Reports confirmed that Chuck Norris passed away Thursday morning in Hawaii. No long public battle. No drawn-out farewell. Just a sudden turn that left fans across the world stunned. And that's what makes this moment feel so surreal. Because this wasn't someone fading away quietly over time. This was Chuck Norris, a man who, even at 86, still represented strength in its purest form. Sources say he had only recently been hospitalized. But here's the part that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Right before that, he was doing what he always did. Training. Moving. Living with energy that most people half his age couldn't keep up with. There was no warning sign to the public. No indication that anything was seriously wrong. One moment, he's pushing forward, staying active, staying disciplined. And the next, the world is being told he's gone. That kind of sudden loss hits differently. Fans weren't just reacting with sadness. There was disbelief, confusion, even denial. Because Chuck Norris wasn't just known for playing tough characters. He was tough. In real life. A 6-time world karate champion. A man who built his name through discipline, not shortcuts. A fighter long before Hollywood ever found him. And even after becoming a global icon, that mindset never left him. So when news like this comes out, it doesn't just feel like losing an actor. It feels like losing a symbol. And that's why this moment has shaken so many people to their core. His final days almost equals 500 words. What makes this loss even more emotional is what Chuck Norris was doing just days before he passed. March 10th. His 86th birthday. Most people at that age are slowing down. Reflecting. Taking it easy. Not Chuck. He posted a video, training. Moving with purpose. Still pushing himself. Still showing the same discipline that defined his entire life. And in that video, he said something that now feels almost haunting. I don't age. I level up. That wasn't just a line. That was his mindset. Even in his final days, he wasn't living like someone nearing the end. He was still building. Still evolving. Still fighting. That's what makes this so hard to process. Because there was no visible decline. No public goodbye. Just a man living life the only way he ever knew how, full force. And then suddenly, silence. For fans, that contrast is painful. Seeing someone so full of life, and then hearing they're gone just days later, it doesn't sit easy. But in a strange way, there's something powerful about it too. Chuck Norris didn't fade away. He didn't let weakness define his final chapter. He went out still being himself. Strong. Disciplined. Unstoppable in spirit. And maybe, that's exactly how he would have wanted it. Family statement and personal side, almost equals 500 words. Shortly after the news broke, the Norris family released a statement. And it wasn't just emotional, it was deeply personal. They described him not as a legend, not as a global icon, but as something far more important. A husband. A father. A grandfather. The heart of their family. They asked for privacy, choosing not to share specific details about what happened. And honestly, that says a lot. Because for a man who lived so much of his life in the public eye, his final moments were kept where they mattered most, with the people he loved. The family shared that he passed peacefully, surrounded by them. No chaos. No fear. Just calm. And in their tribute, they made something very clear. To the world, Chuck Norris was strength. But to them, he was love. They spoke about his faith, his kindness, his unwavering commitment to the people closest to him. And one line stood out more than anything else. They said his supporters were never just fans. They were his friends. That's rare. Most celebrities have followers, audiences. But Chuck built something different. A connection. And you could feel that in the way people are reacting now. Not just mourning a star, but someone they felt they actually knew. That kind of impact doesn't happen by accident. That comes from who you are, not just what you do. A legacy that will never fade, almost equals 500 words. It's almost impossible to sum up what Chuck Norris meant to the world. You had the action star, the martial artist, the television icon who brought Walker, Texas Ranger, into millions of homes. But that was just the surface. Because beyond the roles, beyond the fame, Chuck Norris stood for something. Discipline, faith, patriotism. He wasn't just playing characters who stood for those values. He lived them. From his service in the United States Air Force, to his lifelong dedication to martial arts, everything about his life reflected structure, purpose, and belief. And that's why his influence stretched far beyond entertainment. He inspired people to train harder, to stay committed, to believe in something bigger than themselves. And even in his later years, after personal losses, losing his mother in 2024, losing his first wife just months ago, he never publicly broke. He kept moving forward. That kind of strength, real strength, is rare. And it's exactly why his legacy won't fade. Because it's not built on movies. It's built on how he lived. Chuck Norris was truly one of one. A man who didn't just act strong, he lived strong. Every single day. And while the world has lost a legend, his impact isn't going anywhere. Because people like Chuck don't disappear. They leave something behind. A mindset. A standard. A legacy. Now we want to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Chuck Norris? Drop it in the comments below. Let's celebrate the life of a man who gave us so much. Rest in peace, legend, before the fame, before the cameras, before the world knew his name. Chuck Norris was already building something powerful. And it didn't start in Hollywood. It started with discipline. Serving in the United States Air Force, Chuck was stationed in South Korea. That's where everything changed. That's where he discovered martial arts, and more importantly, discovered himself. What began as curiosity quickly turned into obsession. Training, learning, pushing past limits. And when he returned home, he didn't just continue, he dominated. Chuck Norris didn't become a champion overnight. He earned it. 6-time world karate champion. Think about that for a second. That's not acting. That's not scripted. That's real. And it's that authenticity that made everything else possible. Because when Hollywood came calling, he wasn't pretending to be tough. He was tough. His early film career wasn't handed to him either. He worked his way in, slowly building a presence that audiences couldn't ignore. And then came the moment that changed everything. His appearance alongside Bruce Lee in Way of the Dragon. That fight scene. Legendary. Not just because of the choreography, but because it felt real. Two warriors. Two philosophies. One unforgettable clash. From there, Chuck's career exploded. Films like Missing in Action, Delta Force, and Lone Wolf McQuade turned him into a global action icon. But even then, there was something different about him. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't over the top. He was grounded, controlled, calm. And that quiet intensity became his signature. Then came Walker, Texas Ranger. And suddenly, Chuck Norris wasn't just a movie star. He was in people's homes every week. A character built on justice, discipline, and moral clarity. And for millions of viewers, Walker wasn't just a role. It was Chuck Norris, amplified. That's what made him different. There was no separation between the man and the message. What you saw on screen was who he really was. It's easy to look at Chuck Norris and see strength. But the deeper you go, the more you realize his life wasn't just about toughness. It was about faith. Chuck was deeply rooted in his Christian beliefs. And unlike many public figures, he didn't keep that part of his life hidden. He lived it openly. In interviews. In speeches. In the way he carried himself. He believed in purpose. In discipline not just for the body, but for the mind and soul. And that belief shaped everything he did. He wasn't chasing fame for the sake of it. He was building something meaningful. Whether it was through his martial arts schools, his books, or his public speaking, Chuck constantly emphasized one thing. You have control over your life. That message resonated with people. Because it wasn't coming from theory. It was coming from experience. He had seen struggle. He had faced loss. And yet, he kept standing. That's what made his story relatable. Not just inspiring, but real. Behind the action hero was a man who valued family above everything. A husband. A father. A grandfather. Someone who, despite global fame, always returned to what mattered most. And you could see it in the way his family spoke about him. Not as a celebrity, but as their foundation. Their strength. Their constant. That's a different kind of legacy. One that doesn't show up in box office numbers, but lives on in people. Every loss is painful, but some hit differently. And this is one of them. Because Chuck Norris wasn't just part of a generation. He represented it. A time when heroes stood for something clear. Right vs wrong. Discipline versus chaos. Strength with purpose. There was no confusion about who he was. And in today's world, that kind of clarity is rare. That's why people feel this so deeply. It's not just about losing a person. It's about losing a symbol. Someone who reminded people of a certain standard. And for many, Chuck Norris was part of their childhood. Their memories. Their idea of what strength looked like. From watching his films, to hearing the legendary Chuck Norris jokes that spread across the internet. He became more than real. He became myth. A larger-than-life figure that felt almost untouchable. Which is why this moment feels so heavy. Because even legends are human. And when they're gone, we're reminded of something we don't like to think about. Time. But here's the thing. Legends don't really disappear. They shift. From presence to memory. From reality to legacy. And Chuck Norris. His legacy is everywhere to the end of the day. Chuck Norris wasn't just a man people watched. He was a man people believed in. And that's something you can't fake. You can't script it. You can't manufacture it. It comes from how you live. Day after day, year after year. Until people don't just recognize your name. They respect it. And that's exactly what Chuck built. A life that meant something. A legacy that will outlive generations. So today, we don't just mourn. We remember. We celebrate. We carry forward what he stood for. Now it's your turn. Drop your favorite Chuck Norris moment below. Let's fill the comments with stories, memories, and respect for a man who truly earned it. Rest in peace. A legend who will never be replaced. And before we come to the end of this video, I just want to take a moment to say a very big thank you to all of you for watching. Your time truly means a lot. In a world where there are thousands of videos you could be watching right now, the fact that you chose to spend a few minutes here with me on Hajara Rama TV is something I truly appreciate. This channel continues to grow because of viewers like you. Every view, every comment, and every bit of support helps this community become stronger. And that's what makes creating these videos so rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, please take a quick moment to like the video, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends or anyone who might enjoy this content. Your interaction really helps the channel reach more people who love stories, entertainment, and updates just like you do. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Hajara Rama TV, and turn on the notification bell so you'll always be among the first to know when a new video is uploaded. There are many more exciting videos coming your way very soon, and I would love for you to be part of this journey as the channel continues to grow. I also enjoy hearing your thoughts, so feel free to drop your opinions, ideas, or suggestions in the comment section. Your voice matters here, and your feedback helps make Hajara Rama TV even better. Once again, thank you so much for watching and for being part of this amazing community. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, stay entertained, And keep watching Hajara Rama TV.